Claire got the offer letter on a Friday. New role, 15% pay increase, and one line near the bottom that she read twice. Unlimited paid time off. She signed before the weekend was over. 3 years later, Claire has taken 9 days of vacation. Her colleague, Dana, at a company with a standard 15-day policy, has taken 14. Claire has more vacation available than anyone she knows. She has used less than anyone she knows. She is not lazy. She is not ungrateful. She is inside a system that was not designed for her benefit. Let us start with the accounting, because this is where the policy was born, not in a boardroom conversation about employee well-being, but in a spreadsheet. At a company with a fixed vacation policy, every day an employee earns sits on the balance sheet as a liability. If Claire earns 15 days a year and uses 10, the company owes her 5 days. That balance accumulates. It follows her through every performance review. And when Claire resigns, the company writes her a check for every unused day. In a company of 500 people, that liability can reach millions of dollars. It is real money, owed, unavoidable. Unlimited PTO solves this problem, not for Claire, for the company. With no set number of days, there is nothing to accrue. Nothing sits on the balance sheet. Nothing is owed at resignation. The day Claire gives notice, the company owes her exactly nothing for unused time. The liability that used to follow every employee through the door disappears entirely. Now, some companies introduced unlimited PTO genuinely. Startups with small teams, trust-based cultures, places where the work was measured by output, not by hours at a desk. In those environments, the policy made sense. You get the work done, you take the time you need, nobody counts. But then something happened. Larger companies watched the startups use it as a recruitment tool, and they ran the spreadsheet. No accrual liability, no payout at resignation. Attractive to candidates, costs nothing extra to offer. The policy that was built on trust became a cost-cutting mechanism, wearing the clothes of a benefit. But here is the angle that does not appear in any HR document: the psychological mechanism. With a fixed number of days, the permission is structural. 15 days on the books means 15 days Claire can take without a conversation. She does not need anyone's approval to use what is already hers. She books the time, she goes. The system expects it. With unlimited days, the permission disappears. Every request now requires Claire to make a judgment. Is this too much? Is this the wrong time? Will my manager remember this when she writes my review? Am I the only one taking this much, or is everyone else taking less? The policy removed the ceiling and replaced it with something far more powerful. Social pressure, self-surveillance, the fear of being seen as the person who takes the most. And this is not speculation. Multiple studies comparing employee behavior before and after companies switched from fixed to unlimited PTO found the same pattern every time. After the switch, employees took fewer days, not more. In some studies, the drop was significant. Employees who had been taking 12 to 15 days a year dropped to 8 or 9 after the policy changed to unlimited. They had infinite vacation. They used less of it than when they had a number. Who profits from Claire not knowing any of this? The company that eliminated a balance sheet liability while increasing its attractiveness to job candidates. The HR software industry that sells unlimited PTO tracking tools to companies that now need to monitor usage to make sure nobody actually takes too much of the unlimited time. Yes, that is real. Companies with unlimited PTO still track it, still flag employees who take more than a certain amount, still have informal norms about what is acceptable. The policy is unlimited in name. The culture enforces a limit that nobody writes down, because an unwritten limit is easier to deny and harder for Claire to argue against than a number in a contract. And there is one final layer. When Claire eventually leaves this company, and she will list unlimited PTO on her requirements for the next role. Because it felt like more, because it sounded generous, because nobody showed her the spreadsheet. She will carry the preference for the policy that cost her vacation into every negotiation she has for the rest of her career. The company does not just save the liability once, it trains the employee to prefer the arrangement that serves the company. Claire is not the problem. Claire read the offer letter. Claire asked reasonable questions before she signed. She simply was not told which part of the letter was written for her.